Hello. Hello. Hi, everyone.
What a
I'm just
fun
going to take a deep breath.
weekend and week.
I'm just going to take a deep breath. I can't hear you very well. Okay, there we go. It was me. It was my speaker situation.
Okay. Uh-oh. Now I'm getting reverb. How about now?
How about now?
Okay.
We're live. Things are happening. I have the hiccups.
Yeah, so there's been some stuff happening.
Yeah, I'm going to let Jenny guide today. Jenny is guiding today because Jasmine's feeling a little, but it's going to be okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm still not like 100% ready to share my story yet either because I'm still in the middle of figuring it out. Although I did. Okay, maybe I'm sharing it. Do you want to am I sharing my story now? Okay. I'm sharing my story. Okay, so for anybody that knows me, that has known me for over the last 10 years, has known I have struggled with rashes on my body. Nobody knows what they're from. I went to multiple doctors, different kinds of doctors, dermatologists, allergists, naturopathics, chiropractors, all these different kinds of acupuncturists, and everybody was baffled by these rashes. Had my blood drawn. Anyway, I ended up discovering that it was a sulfur imbalance, which in Ayurveda, sulfur is a fire food, a fire energy. So I had too much fire in my body and it was causing rashes. I was breaking out in these rashes. And I found a solution and I was super happy about it because I was able to eat normal again and I didn't have to do this crazy elimination diet. Well, this last weekend I broke out in full body rashes again.
I feel like I have to ask the questions.
Yes, do it.
Why are you an overactive fire energy? What is causing you to be super agitated? Allow yourself to bring in a little water energy, stepping into the unknown. Yeah.
Wait. I don't know the answers to that yet. I'm very irritated. Well, okay, so I'm really irritated with the world right now. Like, seriously, do you guys not see the shit show that's happening?
The world is a shit. The world is a fucking
Pulling the
disaster.
strings, and that people are only showing you what they want you to see so that you stay in fear and you're powerless and you can't change anything. Like, fuck that. I'm so done with this bullshit. Like, I'm over it. Like, oh, remember when everybody's freaked out about COVID? Oh, forget COVID. Now World War III overnight. Ah!
And then gas prices are going to be $5 a gallon before we know it, if not more, and probably more than that. Like it is. I just want to go. I want everyone to go back to bed. Can everyone go back to bed and let's try again?
Like Etch a Sketch. Let's reset this shit.
I can't. Like I totally get you, and I'm sure other people do too. It's just like, what in the like it's like so beyond the rational mind. Like the decisions that people are making that we're all kind of having to deal with is like so beyond rational, like human understanding and thinking. Like what? and then to add in like misinformation, like what is the real story? Because no one really knows unless you're there. And I'm not in Russia. I'm not in Ukraine. I almost like, is that the right country? Yeah. I'm not like, you know what I mean? We're not in these places. So like, I don't 100% know. And even if you are in these places, do you 100% know? It's like this rabbit hole of just like, what the? Yeah.
So there's some of that. And then also irritation and like that I'm like, oh, I thought I figured this out.
No! Which you did figure it out. It's just you know exactly what it is. Now you just have to deal with it again, which is annoying.
Yes. So that's what's been happening to me. And I was really irritated yesterday. And I woke up again today and I was like, I thought I normally sleep really helps me, but no, still woke up. So I took a nice long bath in water, the water element, right? Getting my water in. And it was just asking all the questions. That's what I do. I just ask questions. And then sometimes I get answers. And I have to like verbally process. And so as I'm talking, I went to lunch with Jerry and we got pho, so soup, more water. I'm trying to bring in more water. I've been drinking, I had like 3 cups of tea in class tonight. And I was just like, you know what's really frustrating is that.
And he's like, tell me.
Kind of like, my family, if you're watching, I love you. But like, because a lot of this stuff that I muscle tested is generational. It's not all mine.
Yeah.
But why am I the one breaking out in rashes? When I'm like the most hippie out of all of us, I have 0 toxic chemicals in my home, right? Laundry detergent, dish soap, cleaning chemicals, none, all natural, right? I don't use the smelly lotions and the fake perfumes. I don't even wear makeup. Like, and I eat mostly clean, healthy foods. And I'm like, why am I the one breaking out?
You're like, I'm doing all the things.
I'm doing all the things. I should be super healthy. And
hence making you more agitated and more fire energy.
Yes, it is. And then our beautiful business partner, Amber, said something today in one of our conversations about how when we have these moments of like, oh, and we're low vibration, because normally I'm super high vibe. So when I come down here, I'm just like, what the shit? Like, what? You know? And it clicked something in me. And it was like, well, Jenny, you're trying to level up. You're trying to get new gifts. Like, I'm really working on, like, you're trying to really work on being able to hear, right? Source speak to you. I want to see with my human eyes. I want to see auras and chakras and spirits. I can see them with my eyes closed, but I want to see them with my eyes open. So I really want to level up. And that requires more high vibe. And so I feel like it was because I was like, I got in the hot tub and I know I'm chlorine sensitive and I break out with rashes from chlorine. But I muscle tested, and sources like, you can get in, it's been long enough. And I'm like justifying with my mind, it's been long enough. The chemicals, you haven't put chemicals in for a month. We've added more water, it's diluted, you'll be totally fine. Well, then I broke out and I'm like, why? Why did spirit say I could get in the hot tub if it knew I was going to break out in rashes? Well, because you're trying to level up and you just really haven't been doing it by yourself, Jenny. And so we knew if we put a full body rash on you, you get your shit together and you'd start eating even cleaner and you'd be even like sit more in meditation. You'd sit like you would do more work. You would level up more.
Well, and I think it's also like, I don't even know that I would say it like it's that you have to do more. It's just being more aware when you're in it. Like, okay, what is source trying to tell me? If I'm to see people, then I need to feel in my own skin. I need to feel what their skin feels like. I really need to understand the way that the body looks and feels and be able to not only feel myself, but feel other people. And sometimes we can do all the things, like all of the meditations, all of the eating, all, like you're a saint. I have McDonald's. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. My face is broken out right now. It's fine. It is life. But if you kind of get a little lost in intention, and source says this to me all the time, you guys know that I couldn't like talk in the fall for like a month really at all. And then I had a little upset stomach thing, a little upset stomach. But then it's like source just gets so loud. And another thing, Amber just had the wisdom. She was saying and I agree with this, when you are used to living up here and then you're down here, you're just like, what the fuck? and so you have to like get your shit and realize you're not above it. You're not above being in it. You're not above healing. You're not above hearing, and stop and listen. Because also, like, we are really sometimes naughty in the fact that we're working on other people all the time. And sometimes we have to remember to work on ourselves. Or source will remind us by rashes or a stomach thing or just taking your voice away. That's the favorite thing source likes to do for me is we'll just take my voice away so that I can't talk to anyone. And then I'm sequestered, which is, it's funny to laugh about it because it's kind of a pain, but at the same time, like it's really not that serious. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
You work through whatever it is that you needed to work through. Your rash will be gone, and we'll laugh about it next week and be like, "Oh, Jenny doesn't have a rash anymore. She's done. She's worked through it." But it doesn't mean that you don't have the shiz sometimes, right? Like it still happens. You just laugh about it quicker.
I try to. This is the first time I have laughed about it since it happened on Saturday. Friday or Saturdays when the rashes started to show up.
And then you think about the perspective because the first time the rashes came in your life, it was months and months and months. It's been like 3 days.
Yeah.
And I really think they're going to be gone next week. I will put my word on. I think by this time next week, you'll be done with the rashes.
Yeah. They've already way faster gone down than in the past, for sure. So.
Yeah. Which, I mean, this stuff all ties into very much what we talked about. It was as if Jenny's rashes inspired the conversation that we had in Rising today.
It didn't, because we had planned this ahead of time to talk about this, but it was like, oh, here, you get a real life lesson now. I mean, I've had these lessons in the past, but here's a working example.
Today's class in Rising was literally all about working examples because I'm not going to go into detail about the Whopper that I got whilst in readings before class today. I never look at my phone. I usually like really push my phone away so I can be centered, but for whatever reason, my phone was kind of sitting nearest to me so I could see it. And I received the message and I was like, son of a bee. It just really got me spinning. And I guess the overall theme of the message was I really felt like I had let this situation down. I felt like I didn't, like in the moment when I made the decision, like a year and a half ago, I really like was doing my due diligence. It took me a year to make the decision in the first place. And then I really thought it was going to be the greatest situation. And then my worst nightmare sort of happened. And I kind of realized that it wasn't the best situation. And now I'm like terrified because I now have to make the decision again. But this time I have way less control. So it's very interesting. All of which Jenny and I were working through as we go in Rising, which was a beautiful example of a lot of the questions we had been getting in our Marco Polo was, how do you shift through energy when it's happening? Like, so if you want to know how we shift through energy when it's happening, tonight's Rising class was a perfect example of how we kind of work through feeling in our body, noticing the organs that are struggling, what element they're connected to, and how to sort of shift through that cycle. First, by just being aware that that's where the energy is stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And creating this beautiful connection with you, your body, your energy.
Mm-hmm.
So fun. So
yeah, because it doesn't just have to be rashes. Like you don't have to break out in rashes to have a problem being in your skin and in your body. You also could have an emotional thing going on, which is more connected to. And feel that in your body too. I was doing the scan and I just felt it so much in my solar plexus. And I just sat there. Jenny was guiding us through a beautiful body scan. And I just sat and held my solar plexus like, oh, I see you. You're really struggling with this. Like, I thought it was right. I thought I was confident in the choice. And then it wasn't. And then, heart energy and throat energy and just kind of clearing all of that. Like, everything is so connected. You do not have to break out in rashes or have kidney failure or whatever for your organs to be involved in the emotional distress or for the emotional distress to cause the organ issue.
Yeah. Well, we had a question tonight that I love. I love it when people ask this question. So, is it the energy that causes the disease, or is it the disease that causes an issue in the energy? Like the chicken or the egg, which one comes first? And Jasmine and I both are hands down 100% believers that it's energy first. And this energy will first just kind of whisper, hey, help me. Hey, I'm uncomfortable. Dis-ease, right? Dis-ease, if you break it down, dis-ease starts as being uneasy somehow. And, source will always give a little tippy tap. Hello, hey, over here, pay attention. And then it'll knock, and then it'll like knock harder, and then it'll start banging, and then eventually it's going to kick down the door.
It's going to punch you in the face. It's going to punch you right in the throat and be like, hi, I'm here. And, a lot of people will be like, well, how? And, I always relate this to the horse world because you guys know I'm so connected to horses and stuff. There's this idea that like, everyone's like, oh, that horse just started bucking, right? No, it didn't. It showed you several times before it was not okay with your behavior, but you didn't understand the language it was speaking. You didn't, there were so many things that came into that. And then the other piece of that that's really interesting is we also have to account for ancestral healing. And that like some people are born with these things because in their ancestral line, there was tappy tappies and like, and no one listened. And now you get to the point where you're angry because you're having to heal ancestral trauma that quite frankly, you probably signed up to heal in the first place, depending on your beliefs and how you believe in the decisions of us being in particular families or spaces or whatever.
So that's one thing I love about Rising is we're teaching how to listen. How does source speak to you? How do you hear it? How do you feel it? How do you know when it's there? So it's really fun to see them starting to like, ooh, I felt that. I heard that. I knew that. Yeah. So.
Well, and that each individual person here is different. They hear and feel it different.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. So. Okay.
Hey, that was so much fun to talk about the session. Tomorrow we're going to be live and we're going to do card readings for 30 minutes. And then we're going to do a meditation, healing situation after that.
Yeah. So come check out what it's like to sit in meditation with us.
Yeah, it would be fun.
And get a card first for clarity on what to focus on.
Yes. It's like a little mini version of Rising.
It really is. Oh my gosh, totally. Exactly what that is. Woo. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, guys, we love you and we will see you tomorrow.
Bye.